Could this be the best looking EV in the world? I think it might be. This is the Maserati GranTurismo Folgore. It's Maserati's electric version of basically the petrol version of the GranTurismo that has been about for a while. But this is the all-electric version, starting at £176,000. It's quite dear. Now that's only the start. You can put an 18 grand decal livery on this car, so basically 18 grand's worth of stickers. There are some cheaper options at 11, 12 grand. You can really customise this car. There's a paint option which is over £15,000. You can upgrade the wheels, the alloys. There's up to 5.5 grand of options there. So quite quickly this could be a 200 grand plus car. Now, when we come down to the stats, there's a hell of a lot of power in it. 761 horsepower, 0 to 60, 2.7 seconds. So this is a very, very powerful, a very, very fast car. And also look at it, it is unreal. Now, it is a bit dirty. Truth be told, this is actually our second video of the day. We had some really torrential rain earlier. We did a video under an underground car park, but it's cleared up, so we're doing another one. So excuse the dirt around the car. But listen, power is one thing. It is a fully electric car, will work well through a business, should your budget allow it. The horsepower is one thing, but the torque is immense. 1,350 Newton meters of torque, which is it's crazy. A really, really fast car. But look, let's have a quick look around the styling. This colour is the Rami Folgore, is what it's called, I believe, which looks really, really well. It's sort of like a matte sort of finish, and the colour does change quite a bit, just the way the light hits it. Now, this will look very, very similar to the petrol version. In fact, there's very little, in fact, really nothing that would tell you that this is not a petrol car. Styling-wise, fantastic. It really is a good-looking car. With lots of small styling touches around there. So we've wee trident in there. These actually light up the tiny three small lights there. And actually, if I come along here, these vents aren't actually vents. I think if we open this, should that... No, it's not going to play ball. But these are lights built into here. So with three lights, which look quite well. The wheels there with the copper effect, with 20 inch on the front, 21 inch on the rear. Nice copper style trident here as well. And the badging on all of these Folgores is sort of a copper effect as well, so it's a lovely, lovely touch. I can't believe how dirty it's got there just from our drive this morning. I've never, well, some of the worst weather I've actually ever driven in. Awful. Charging port in here. Now, boot space isn't great with 270 litres. It's quite small. There's no getting away from that. But look, this isn't a family car. It's not one for firing a load of stuff in. You know, it's not for that. It's a Grand Tourer with a hell of a lot of power that you just so happen you could put it through your business and not get penalised for it, and you could save a bit of corporation tax. So listen, just again, quick walk around the car. Again, look at it. I mean, it's fantastic. It's a lovely thing to drive as well. I've really enjoyed having it out today. A couple of times a wee bit scary on the wet roads. Well, not that scary, but there's so much power in this, even with the four-wheel drive. A couple of times slight loss of traction. Nothing dangerous, but to be expected when there's about 6 inches of puddle on the ground. Let's have a look inside. Here we go, inside the Maserati GranTurismo Folgore. So we've got the two-tone interior, and this sound system is immense. It has a real 3D sort of effect, which is brilliant. Really, really good sound. The doors open with these buttons. And then we have the safety down there in case that fails. Even there, that's a nice wee styling touch. So let's have a look in the back. The back seats are really, really good. Now that'll move forward electrically. And if you have anyone with small enough legs that fancies trying out the back, you have some really, really nicely crafted seats there. So we've got leather on the outside, and then this is like an eco-friendly material in the middle with laser etched pattern. We have the central armrest, cup holders, USB, USB-C, air vents in there. They're really nice, but when I say legroom is tight, it is extremely tight. Not really ideal for rear seat passengers. So on the dash here we've got the paddles, which will be for the regenerative braking system. You can adjust the how severe that is. Let me just jump in. So we've got the two screens. This bottom screen, sorry, a bit of a reflection there. This will have all your seat controls, heat controls, everything on there. All well laid out, looks well. However, it's quite a bit to manage when you're driving. Then with the main screen here, the sat nav. And one thing I love is the clock on the Maserati. Always look good. So the cabin is very well finished, as you would expect. Everything's nice and well finished. And we've got the steering wheel with the start button here. Drive modes. The door open. So different drive modes will change the dials. And actually I can hear, going into sport mode, a slight hum, which is a sort of a synthetic engine noise, if you want to call it that. But yeah, listen, nice interior, very comfortable. I cannot complain. Right, that's us into the GranTurismo Folgore. One thing I actually am not as fussed on is the park, reverse, neutral, drive is up here. I think more so because I keep going to put it into gear or into drive and it's not where I think it is, and the buttons are nearly camouflaged in there, so it's maybe just I'm not used to it. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like. I always have to say there's something I don't like. I actually really like this car. I could see myself in one. I need to rob a bank though. I'm just driving out of a bumpy car park here. The suspension, do you know, I haven't noticed actually. I can feel it obviously with the bumps. The suspension is throwing me about a bit. But actually on the road, the smooth road, it doesn't, I wouldn't say it feels overly firm. The car actually feels more agile than I would have expected for, something of this weight. But then, I suppose it's not a big SUV, but saying that, it's still, 2.2, 2.3 tons. Now the acceleration in this thing is insane. There's just a small blip of the accelerator and it just goes. So with the different drive modes as well, let me see. So you can put the suspension into sport and The actual motor's in the Sport. Let's try that out. Holy jeez. That is lethal. There's actually, if you think about it, with this, the horsepower, 761 horsepower, so much torque, 1350 newton meters of torque. It actually, when I accelerate there, I can nearly feel in my ears something shifting to the back of my head. But with that power and that torque, that 0 to 60 time, there's not an awful lot on the road would keep up with this. Maybe that helps justify the price of it, the cost of it. Also, which is unusual, it does 202 miles per hour, which is very unusual for an EV. Not that you'd ever really need that. But with the electric range as well, Maserati quote 275 miles. I'm told it is quite accurate. Motorways are a bit of a killer for it, but 275 miles, from what I've read and heard, 250 is achievable. Now it depends obviously if you drive it hard all the time and just what type of driving you're actually doing, but I'm sure it's the same with a petrol or a diesel car. So who is this car suited to? Probably someone without a young family would be for starters, or it could be for a business or a personal customer. Look, for business, obviously there's incentives at the minute. Put it through, you'll save on corporation tax. You're not going to get hammered with BIK tax, so it would work well as a company car, albeit a very expensive company car. But if you want to put it through your business, you can do, and that is a big attraction if you are looking at this type of vehicle, because if you compare this to the petrol car, this has more power, it's more economical, and there's tax incentives. Yes, the petrol may sound better, but sound better, it's going to cost you a lot more. Don't get me wrong, I'm a petrol head, and the sound of a Maserati petrol engine is brilliant, but this is a more sensible buy to go for the 761 horsepower. But yeah, so look, through a business it's going to work well. If you want to do it personally, we can do them on PCPs, personal contract hire. They can be put through on salary sacrifice. HP, you want to outright purchase it, we can do all of them. It's actually a really nice car to drive as well. Comfortable, the seat's comfortable. I've got loads of leg room there actually. I can nearly fully extend in fact actually, if the seat went back slightly, my left leg would nearly be fully extended. The armrests on each side are perfect. Nice feel of the steering wheel. I have a good view through to the instruments in front of me. There's good visibility. It's actually got a really big back window, so I can see everything behind me. Mirrors are all good. Everything's good. It doesn't feel like you're crammed into a little small sports car, but this is more of a GT car. And it's great. I actually really, really like it. One thing to mention, the sound system is brilliant. Now, this is just on the radio, by the way. I'm not sure how much you can hear that, but there's a good 3D sort of sound through it. It's really good. Very, very clear. It's, yeah, really, really good sound system. It goes loud as well. It's only halfway there. So if you like your sound systems, you'll like that. That's us back. Quick recap on the car. Maserati GranTurismo Folgore, the electric version. It's expensive, very expensive. could easily be a 200 grand plus car because you can spec it up and make it even more expensive. However, if you can afford a 200 grand car, it's probably not going to matter too much. So let's ignore the price. What about the car? I really, really like the car, I must say. It drives brilliantly. The power, I mean, it's insane. 761 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. The torque is unbelievable. 1,350 newton meters of torque. It'll do just over 200 miles an hour. Should you own a runway or have balls big enough to do that on a public road? Not that I would advise that, of course. But so look, it's powerful. Yes, very powerful. It's very well finished. It's comfortable. There's enough space for me here driving. There's very little space in the rear. The boot isn't massive. But look, it's supposed to be a Grand Tourer, and that it is. It's comfortable. It's great. I actually love it. I think it's a brilliant car. It is stunning to look at from every angle. I love the colour. I love the wheels. Everything about it, I think, looks fantastic. So brilliant car. If you want to put it through a business, there's tax incentives to do so. So that's what also makes this interesting. Also, I would struggle to see why, I was going to say I would struggle to see why anyone would go for the petrol, but look, the petrol, don't get me wrong, will sound brilliant, has a bit more character and things, but look, this is faster, it's more economical. If you have a business, it's going to save you in tax, everything else, so this makes a lot of sense. But look, if you're interested, if you want more information, get in touch. If you want any quotes, personal or business, we can do all of that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this today, and we've had some awful weather as well earlier on, but thankfully it dried up, so we've actually nearly redone this video from this morning. But yeah, listen, enjoy. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Get in touch if you need any more info.